here's an interesting article. According to The Guardian, there is a mutiny going on at Disney right now. They outline Bob Iger's fight to right the ship, now facing a showdown with the shareholders. Now, we've been talking about this for a long time. Leave a like on the video if you think Disney is absolute propagandistic garbage. If you haven't yet, please do follow the channel wherever you choose to watch me and turn notifications on. I would greatly appreciate that. We've been following Disney spiraling over the past, several years, basically. Every movie they come out, absolutely flopping at the box office. Their latest movie, Wish, was terrible. Everything coming out of Pixar is losing money. They used to guaranteed make hundreds of millions of dollars on anything Pixar puts out. Parents decided, hey, I don't want to subject my kids to your propaganda anymore. And now even The Guardian writes, summoned out of retirement, the right to the company, Iger faces shareholders who want to shake up the board. Bob Iger wishes his colleagues smooth waters ahead as he stepped down in 2021 after 15 years. They proved anything but. 11 months later, he was summoned out of retirement. Iger, who had been lauded for transforming a rusty Hollywood tug into a gleaming flotilla of new media entities during this first stint in charge, was given a second stint to steer the company back on course. The seas have yet to calm. Now pirates are looking to clamber aboard as the renowned activist investor Nelson Peltz shake up the board. The entertainment giant has woefully underperformed, according to Trian Partners, Peltz's firm. Iger's return, by his own admission, has been much more challenging than anticipated. The company was sucked into America's culture war shortly before he took the job again. Well, I'm sorry, they were not forced into the culture wars. They were not forced into that. They went there willingly. They self-inserted there. They wanted that. I'm not exactly sure, what is he talking about? Of course, that's what they wanted. They inserted themselves into the parental rights and education bill argument. Nobody forced them into it. And while Iger seems to have bested the Florida governor and failed presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis, after his attack on Disney's supposedly woke culture for now, Disney's business troubles remain. So how has he bested him? I'm not sure I would call that a victory if the fact that you have you have all the same problems, from lackluster trading at the box office to an expensive bid to dominate streaming. The fleet he has amassed for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and most of 21st Century Fox remains under fire. The group's once lucrative broadcast television arm is in decline, and the sports network ESPN faces an uncertain future. Well, I remember when I would turn on ESPN and get sports. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Now you turn on ESPN and they're talking about BLM, they're talking about all their woke ideology and politics. I tuned out a long time ago. He's got a lot to do, said Jessica Reif-Ehrlich, an analyst at Bank of America. His focus is righting the ship and getting Disney to a very profitable place in an environment that's very different than it was when he left the company. Iger has tried to ease the storm by cutting 7,000 jobs to curb Wall Street's alarm over costs, reorganizing the ranks, and moving to reduce costs by about $7.5 billion. While he claims such moves mean Disney can now move beyond the period of fixing and begin rebuilding our business again, his critics remain unpersuaded. Even the once reliable machine at the heart of Disney's empire, making the movies and shows to lure fans to theaters, streaming platforms, resorts, and stores, has stuttered. Iger has identified the revitalization of the company's production studios as his number one priority. The future relevance of cinemas remain an open question for the movie industry, but Disney struggles to draw big crowds is very Disney specific, according to Ehrlich. Look at Barbie and Oppenheimer, she said, referring to last week's summer breakout blockbusters. People went to the movies. Barbie was distributed by Warner Brothers, Oppenheimer by Universal, which overtook Disney as the highest grossing studio at the box office last year for the first time since 2015. Disney, meanwhile, released a series of high-profile flops like The Marvels, only Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 graced the global top 5. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, people want to talk about nobody wants to go to the theater anymore. This is like, this is, it's an industry-wide thing. No, it's not. People absolutely still want to go to the theater. There's no question about that. They'll want to go see something new. They want to go see something interesting. They want to go see something unique. Taking on Netflix, Disney ramped up production and hoped that Marvel superheroes and Star Wars spin-off prequels and sequels and remakes would turbocharge its own streaming service. While its streaming service, Disney Plus, built a core base of 112.6 million in less than 4 years users, second only to Netflix, which finished last year at 260 million, it concedes that the quantity of output diluted quality, and investors balked at the platform's multi-billion-dollar bill. Enough is enough, according to Pelt. He joined forces with Ike Perlmutter, who remains one of Disney's largest individual shareholders, after selling Marvel for $4 billion in 2009. Perlmutter, no friend of Iger's, was fired as chair of Marvel Entertainment comic publishing business last spring. Together, Tryon and Perlmutter hold shares in Disney's worth more than $2.5 billion. In the year to last May, they've asked no fewer than 24 times for Pelt to be given a seat on the board. According to the company, Disney, with a market value north of 170 billion, has repeatedly rebuffed the pair. The stage is set for a showdown in the spring, when Tryon plans to put its proposal to overhaul Disney's board directly to the shareholders. Last month, it stunned insiders by enlisting veteran of the Magic Kingdom to challenge Disney insiders Jay Rizzullo, who resigned as chief financial officer back in 2015 and was once deemed the potential successor to Iger, now claims the Disney I know and love has lost its way. Disney, which has its own slate of board of candidates, last week bluntly rejected the idea of Peltz and Rizzullo joining instead. Peltz has not actually presented a single strategic idea for the company and said that during his 2-year quest for acclaim, suggesting he seemed oblivious to transformations across the media industry. The sector has radically changed since Rizzullo's exit and added questioning the ability to work constructively with Iger. Well, I mean, ultimately, you have a situation here where, Disney is, this is a problem of their own making. This is not a unique to Disney thing. It isn't. I'm sorry, it is not a unique to the whole industry thing. There were, Barbie made $1 billion. Oppenheimer came close to $1 billion. People will still go to the theater. Every Fast and Furious movie that comes out makes $1 billion. There's lots of movies. Wes Anderson movies, people still go to the theater for the most part to go see. There's a lot of movies. There's Silent Night. I don't know if that did any good or not, but there's still movies that are somewhat unique that people want to go see and will go to the theater to see it. It's just that we already know what kind of tripe we're going to get from Disney. It's going to be propaganda. It's going to be a remake. It's going to be woke. It's going to be, it's going to be garbage. And so why would I pay $15 or $100 to take a family of 4, quite frankly, to go see that? And also, especially because most of these people already pay for Disney Plus, they could just wait for that. Like, none of these movies, the biggest problem is nothing Disney is putting out now has any reason for you to go. Like, why would I go see Wish, a terrible movie that's going to be on Disney Plus anyway? Why would I go see the 15th rendition of Toy Story when it's going to be out on Disney Plus anyway? And it's probably going to make me mad. It's probably not going to be interesting. It's just, all of this really boils down to there's absolutely no, what's the word? There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no urgency to go see one of these movies because they're just going to be out on social media anyway, or they're just going to be out on streaming anyway, so people can just go see them then. And it's so weird to me that Disney can't see that. Nobody gives a damn about, if you look at what's coming up now, Madam Web doing worse than the infamous Marvel flop. This is their newest movie. It's in the it's a Spider-Man spin-off with a chick. Apparently that means you want to go pay $15 to go see it. They literally did put a chick in it and make it gay. And it's trending to be a massive box office disaster. Madam Web is said to have the worst box office opening for any Sony Spider-Man movie ever. Oh, it's four diverse chicks. Here's my money. Take my money. Why wouldn't I just... Well, I mean, there's no reason to give them your money for this stuff. It's garbage. It's all complete trash. And, I think that, people have just moved on. Nobody was asking for a cringily wrote female Spider-Man movie. Nobody. And they put it out there. Nobody was asking for the Marvels, and they put it out there. So when they do these movies and they spend the amount of money that they spend on them and they flop, Sony's upcoming superhero team-up movie is currently tracking to earn just 25 to 35 million in its opening weekend, which, if true, puts the film between the range that would mark it the lowest opening weekend yet for any Spider-Man movie. Now, Sony's vampire flick Morbius currently has the worst Spider-Man universe opening, sitting at just 39 million, followed by Venom at 80 million, and Let There Be Carnage at 90 million. This is going to make 20 million. Adjusted for inflation, that's an even worse disaster. But, keep pumping out the movies, keep calling us racist, keep saying, all this insane crap that we just know you're going to say, that you're going to blame us for every little thing. We don't want to see your terrible movie. You keep doing that. We'll see how that works out.